What's up, everybody? This is Carmine Davis, and you are watching and listening to the Carmine Davis Show. Okay, what is tea? Just chiming in. Hold on, let me fix this camera. Okay, good. I have to fix my lens, child. Just tapping in with you guys. This week, let's get into these hot topics. I ain't got all day. So before we do, make sure you guys subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. I don't do it for my health. Make sure you follow us on all of our socials. Instagram.com/Carmine Davis, Instagram.com/Carmine Davis Show, TikTok.com/@Carmine Davis. I am on Blue Sky, Carmine Davis on Blue Sky, and Twitter.com. I guess I'm still on Twitter. I don't know. I think we're not doing Twitter anymore. So for now, I probably just be showing like show updates and stuff like that, but I don't think we're doing it anymore. I think that's a chop. But I am on Blue Sky at Carmine Davis on Blue Sky. And let's get into the show. With further ado, okay, so this week, Beyoncé. Okay, a little backstory. It's all coming out after the election that Kamala paid people to come out and speak at the rallies, which to me, I'm like, no shit. Like, okay, business is business, regardless of the political affiliation. You can be paid for your services and still believe in something. I don't know if people believe in that or not. These people, it costs them money to get across the world or whatever. They come with staff, and if you want the best out of them, it costs. So I guess there was a lot of conversation about why it's controversial that she had all these people. She's paying all these people all this money, and they're saying that her campaign and all that is in debt of $20 million. She's reaching out to me, child. She's texted me for money. I, for one, am the one. I guess technically to them, I'm a big supporter. I've donated a lot of money and all those things because I understand how things work. It costs money. Went to rallies and to see Victoria Monet, Tyler Perry, and all them people. I know that shit cost. So I donated my money to make sure that she had something worth substance. Money talks. But, Oprah has come out and said that she has not been paid. Her team was being paid, like I said, for the show, the production that they put together, but she personally was not paid. And I think this is the same similar thing that everybody else is doing. It costs to get Beyoncé across from her home to, where were they, in Chicago, Houston, Texas. It costs all those people private jets to use. Anyway, Beyoncé has come out and said, nah, like, I don't know what she said. Actually, let's get into it. Okay, from lovebscott.com, Tina Knowles addresses reports that Beyoncé was paid $10 million to speak at the Harris rally. Tina Knowles is coming out swinging in defense of her daughter, Beyoncé. Last month, the Houston native, 43, was joined by her Destiny's Child bandmate, Kelly Rowland, at Harris's campaign event to endorse the Democratic nominee in an emotional speech. Rumors spread online that the record-breaking Grammy winner was paid $10 million for her appearance, with prominent right-wing commentator Candace Owens furthering the narrative on a recent episode of her eponymously entitled podcast. I hate her. Well, I don't hate her, okay? I don't know her to hate her, but Candace Owens makes my ass crack. Like, she just does something to me, and whatever. Beyonce allegedly got paid $10 million for that pathetic little endorsement of Kamala Harris. What was it? 3 minutes, $10 million for 3 minutes of her life, Owens, who previously endorsed Donald Trump, said. While Owens acknowledged that the claims hadn't been confirmed, she went to argue that there has to be some truth to these reports, as the Harris campaign has gone completely mum and refused to answer questions regarding the rumors. Instagram has since blurred the post and added a note informing others that the clip includes false information before users can proceed to view it, as it should. Okay, so this has been flagged on Instagram as fake news and taken down. It's called false information. Beyonce's mother wrote on Instagram alongside a screenshot of the blurred post. Sadly, other platforms with a lack of integrity still have it. The lie is that Beyonce was paid $10 million to speak at a rally in Houston for Vice President Kamala Harris, when in fact, Beyonce did not receive a penny for speaking at the presidential candidate, Vice President Kamala Harris's rally in Houston. She continued revealing that the Texas Hold'em singer actually paid her own flights for her and her team in total glam. They are not only lying and disrespecting Beyonce's name, but they are trying to further discredit the power of our vice president. When does the lies and rumors stop? Of course, you won't see this in the news, Knowles added. I know that's right. I'm with her. I'm with Miss Tina when she right. You know, I do think even if she was paid $10 million, I bet you it just cost Beyonce $10 million to take the Beyonce machine across the states. Now, y'all want to minimalize the Beyonce experience, like, oh, $10 million for 3 minutes of her time, until you go to a show and she has a blank backdrop and it's just Beyonce wearing jeans and a t-shirt, right? Like, y'all, it's a Beyonce experience. It's a Alicia Keys experience. It's an Oprah experience that people are using to or are used to, and that's what we use to gather influence to choose to vote or whatnot. Trying to pretend like celebrity endorsements is or anything like that is something new is crazy. There are people out there who have for years who are elected because of somebody else's endorsements. There are people right now in jobs who are in their position at the fucking drive-through because a good homie came through that they know and they good people. It just influences just how it is, okay? And we're not just talking about the little nigga in the drive-through right now. We're talking about Beyonce and trying to minimalize not only Beyonce and the Beyonce Oprah and experience, discussing VP Harris as if she needed these things to, like, her needing these things is different than anybody else. It just so happens if these were people who were backing Trump, that it wouldn't be a conversation because he needed everybody over there to endorse it. Well, I guess technically he didn't. You know, y'all were gonna vote for that motherfucker anyway because y'all are racist and horrible. But the fact that influential people wanted to be over there with Kamala, the fact that good people still wanted to vote for Kamala, and the fact that influential people wanted to be on that side does not make it or minimalize it or act like it's something different. There were influential people over there voting for Barack Obama when he was running. It's nothing new, and trying to minimalize Kamala's run, trying to minimalize her whole thing. It's icky, and it needs to stop. Like, she didn't do nothing new. If anything, she elevated it, and a lot of more people were willing to come out there and be inspired by her and use their influence to put her in a better position. She only had fucking 3 months to run. Like, come on now. Like, she needed all the help she can get, and then these people were willing. And if she did pay them, so fucking what? Bitch, if it's gonna cost you to get me across Midtown. So I'm from Alpharetta, it's gonna cost you to get me down there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's be for real, because it costs me to move. Like, it costs the Carmine Davis experience, and that's just business, bitch. Like, it costs Candace Owens to do what she do. She not running around here speaking at these Trump rallies for free. Leave a comment below if you understand where I'm coming from. You know, ugh. Like, Candace is, I've never liked her. I never liked her. There's probably like 2 times when she's actually spoken, she made any kind of sense. Like, this whole, I'm not gonna say what I want to say. I'm trying to be better. Leave a comment below. Let's move on to the next hot topic. But before we do, make sure you guys subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. I don't do it for my health. Make sure you guys follow us on all of our socials. Instagram.com/Carmine Davis. Instagram.com/Carmine Davis Show. TikTok.com/@Carmine Davis. Blue Sky @Carmine Davis. And we're gonna move on to the next hot topic. Diddy. You know, we're following him on our Can't Stop, Won't Stop I can't even think. I don't know why I'm not. My brain, excuse me, my brain is not with it today on our Can't Stop, Won't Stop series. And according from LoveyScott.com, prosecutors claim Diddy has led Relentless campaign to blackmail witnesses from jail. Federal prosecutors are once again urging a judge not to grant Sean Diddy Combs bail, claiming the mogul has attempted to tamper with witnesses and influence potential jurors from behind bars. In a late November 15 filing, current U.S. Attorney Damian Williams revealed prosecutors had prison notes and recordings of the I'll Be Missing You singer's alleged relentless efforts to pay off potential witnesses, making non-permitted outside calls and trying to shut down other potential witnesses. After the defendant was in custody, BOP, the Bureau of Prisons investigators recovered the notes from the defendant's cell during a pre-planned nationwide sweep of the BOP facilities. The feds insisted late last week and asserted that the material was gone through by an independent filter team and privileged information was reviewed. Still, Combs' defense team today are screaming constitutional violations. Defense counsel has recently relearned that the prosecutors are in possession of attorney-client's privileged materials, including the defendant's own written notes. Defense attorneys Mark Emilio and Terry Geragos wrote to Judge Arun Subramanian early Monday, read that Combs' defense letter, you can read the defense letter in the description, of their infamous 55-year-old client who faces life behind bars if found guilty in a trial set to start May the 5th, 2025. After an explosive and quickly settled rape and abuse suit from ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura last year and an everyday growing list of civil cases, Diddy was arrested on September the 16th in the lobby of a New York City hotel, charged with racketeering, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution in his drug-fueled and videotaped self-described freak-offs. Combs was immediately tossed in Brooklyn's hardcore Metropolitan Detention Center. Even with promising to put up a bail of $50 million, promising home detention and not to talk to anyone but family and his lawyers, Combs has struck out twice already in his desire for pretrial release. A third bond hearing is set for November the 22nd, but tomorrow's session could override that if Judge Subramanian decides so or not. In the November 15 filing, the prosecutors cite their previously successful arguments against releasing Diddy, as well as the reinforcement that they say the new Bureau of Prisons obtained material reveals. Combs' lawyers certainly want to push the judge in the direction of letting their client out, even if they need to wrap him in the flag to get there. The search and seizure are in violation of Mr. Combs' 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendment rights. The lawyers added successfully seeking a November 19th hearing on the matter of the material removed from the much-accused Combs' cell. Moreover, the targeted seizure of a pretrial detainee's work, product, and privileged materials created in preparation for trial is outrageous government conduct amounting to a substantive due process violation. Prosecutors have just over an hour left Monday to respond to the New York City-based court. Judge Subramanian has said the court will hold a hearing on this matter tomorrow, November 19th, 2024 at 3 o'clock p.m. in courtroom 15A at the Daniel Patrick Mohanian Courthouse, 500 Pearl Street, New York, unless the parties mutually agree to a remote conference instead. While attempting to evade law enforcement monitoring, the defendant has, among other things, orchestrated social media campaigns that are, in his own words, aimed at tainting the jury pool, made efforts to publicly leak materials he views as helpful to his case, and contacted witnesses through their third parties. The feds claim in a heavily redacted opposition to Combs' third and latest bail efforts. More sinisterly, an almost totally redacted October the 4th call involving the imprisoned Combs and one of his adult sons has the clear interference that the defendant's goal is to blackmail victims and witnesses either into silence or providing testimony helpful to his defense. The government did not previously disclosed these recordings due to its ongoing investigation, but is doing so now given the recent escalation in the defendant's efforts to influence the jury pool in this criminal case. Prosecutors state in a slightly redacted footnote in their 30-page filing, which is backed by copious exhibits. Still, the SDNY attorney's office has not responded to judges' demands. Soon to be led by Donald Trump nominee and executive SEC chair by Jay Clayton. The office itself has also not replied to requests from Deadline for comment. If and when the prosecutors say something, the post will be updated. Things have been going from bad to worse for Combs since his arrest 2 months ago. First, there was an arrest itself, then the dual denial of pretrial releases, and as the civil cases pile up, a series of stumbles by the once legendary marketer to take control of the narrative around his alleged crimes. Early this month, Combs and his defense team lost out on a big swing when Judge Sabramian denied their motion for a gag order on witnesses and others in both the criminal case and the dozens of civil cases against him. Woo, that was a mouthful to just basically say that he is fucked. Okay, so basically from what I'm gathering, what's going on here is Diddy is trying to contact people, do his work, basically do what Diddy has been doing for the last 20, 30 years, allegedly, by saying how, nigga, you get your ass on that stand, it's not gonna look good for you, basically. And then they said they found less than a day ago, feds raided Diddy's cell at Brooklyn jail to seize personal notes. So it just basically seems like Diddy is at a place where he is desperate. And so to me, I feel like a little bit of this is an admission of guilt to a certain extent. I did see how he kind of is threatening his sons. His sons are allegedly, his sons are really giving that they are easily bought and persuaded. Money is the motive. I think also fear. We all know that Diddy is a violent man. You've seen the video. This is proof. And there are things that people are coming out and saying about him that I believe that people have been echoing for years up to decades. It only makes sense that Diddy's on his last leg, up in there, calling people, being like, nigga, you take your ass on the stand, this is coming out, or this, that, and the third. You don't want to piss me off. Leave a comment below if you understand where I'm coming from. Do you feel like, are you one of those weird people who think that Diddy is still innocent? I don't know. But this is definitely, if there was any shadow of a doubt, the fact that Diddy is on his last leg, screaming that he is going to tamper and doing all these things, I think that's proof that he kind of did it. I don't know. Leave a comment below. We're going to move on to the next hot topic. But before we do, make sure you guys subscribe, rate, and review these podcasts. I don't do it for my health. Follow us on all of our socials. Instagram.com/Carmine Davis. TikTok.com/ Instagram.com/Carmine Davis. Instagram.com/@Carmine Davis Show. TikTok.com/@Carmine Davis. And Blue Sky @Carmine Davis. All right, this last and final hot topic. LoveBeScott.com reports Angelina Jolie could be left broke by epic court war over Vineyard with ex-Brad Pitt. She's already selling her car. On August the 23rd, 2014, the former couple tied the knot in an intimate wedding in the French village of Correns. However, after a decade together and 2 years of marriage, the pair's relationship came to an end when Jolie filed for divorce on September 20th, 2016. Pitt and Jolie are set for a blockbuster court trial next year over the fate of their $350 million Vineyard, and the hard up star is hunting down the back of her sofa for cash as she buckles under a monster of legal bills. The star is making an inventory of her valuables like jewels, handbags, and artwork, and she already has her vintage Ferrari up for sale for $1.3 million as she hunts for yet more cash to fund the bitter courtroom battle, RaiderOnline.com can reveal. A showbiz mole revealed the case is absolutely wiping her out. She might be worth millions in property and investments, but she has a lavish lifestyle and doesn't have mega money in the bank. She is now making an inventory of the baubles and trinkets that she can do without, which might help her raise some cash. It's the millionaire equivalent of hunting down the back of a sofa. The fact is, she's not in a mega budget movie she has not been in a mega budget movie for years, so doesn't have the kind of income that her ex Brad can still generate in Hollywood. If the court case drags, if the court case drags, she could end up broke. Earlier this year, Angelina Jolie garnered $55 million from the sale of her stake in the Chateau Moravo to Russian billionaire Yuri Shafir, igniting her ongoing legal dispute with her ex-husband Pitt. So she does own a hotel. If you don't remember sidebar, we a couple episodes ago we were talking about her and her getting her groove back, child, and we were like, does she own that hotel? But she does. Okay. The Vineyard, renowned for its award-winning sparkling rosé, was placed at the center of what has since been dubbed War of the Roses. Pitt 60 filed for a $67 million lawsuit against his ex-wife after she told her 50% stake in the vineyard. After she sold her 50% stake in the vineyard to a businessman, Shaffer, and his Stoli group. The Fight Club actor says the couple had a binding verbal agreement over the fate of the estate, which produces award-winning rose wine, that he would have the first option to buy Jolie 49 out. The Maria star has been active on the professional front. However, she hasn't appeared in any big budget films since MCU's Eternals. Former power couple Pitt and Jolie have been at war since their acrimonious breakdown of their marriage and a loggerheads over at a loggerheads over the Chateau Miraval they bought together during their relationship. But Jolie, an Oscar winner turned acclaimed producer and director, insists she was entitled to dispose of her stake in the business. Last week, a judge dismissed motion from Jolie, which sought to throw out Pitt's claims about the alleged verbal agreement. The decision sets the stage for a full trial of the dispute at the Los Angeles Superior Court in 2025. Jolie recently dropped her lawsuit against the FBI seeking documents related to a 2016 incident on a private plane where she accused Pitt of violence towards her and their children. Court papers show the judge found a possible basis for Pitt's claims and that their verbal agreement was binding, and ruled that the issue should be finally decided at a trial. The couple had their six children together, the couple who had six children together wed at Chateau Miraval in 2014, but 2 years later, their relationship broke down. Whew. Okay, so she was getting her groove on, but I didn't know it was her swan song, child. Okay, so with Angelina Jolie and all this shit, you got to be careful who you lay up with. I mean, you just got to. Being a bad bitch and everything, the same one you sneak and cheat with is going to stab you in the courtroom. Like, Brad Pitt is everywhere. I think I just saw him on an Apple TV show. I haven't seen much of Angelina Jolie, but I just don't want to believe she's broke. But I mean, that vineyard, that's expensive. And she's gonna have to definitely fight Brad, child. So this might be a little true. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to believe it. Let's see her net worth. Um, yeah, it says here in 2024 she's facing financial challenge. She might be worth $120 million in assets, like they said. Ooh. Well, prayers up for my girl, Angelina Jolie. She's gonna get through this. Cause yeah, he's worth $400 million. I know that she said, like, he's been violent towards her allegedly and all that. Like, ugh. Now I look at Brad Pitt and I just get ugh. Now, one thing is, I was never on the Brad Pitt trying. Like, I never just thought he was fine. Like, I mean, I think he's technically attractive. Like, especially early, like, Brad Pitt, like, I like Brad Pitt with the short hair and all that. Like when he was with Jennifer Aniston, Brad Pitt was fine. But I just felt like I don't know, like being around Angelina, he just kind of let out a little demon. And he's like dating like a 20-year-old or some shit, right? Like toxic. Toxic, toxic, toxic. And that's the show. We're going to leave it right there. Again, make sure you guys subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. For my help. Make sure you guys follow us on all of our socials. Instagram.com/CarmineDavis. Instagram.com/CarmineDavis Show. TikTok.com/@CarmineDavis. BlueSky.com @CarmineDavis. And that's the show. All right, I love y'all. Bye.